Nebraska started the year off with optimism by winning the first game of the season for the first time since 2019. Freshman quarterback Dylan Raiola's poise was on full display as he led the Huskers to a decisive 40-7 win against UTEP. Now all attention turns to Colorado coming to Lincoln this weekend. But first, we're going to break down the first win of 2024 with our special guest, former Husker and 1890 president Matt Davison. Sean Callahan will also join us to keep us up to date on back-to-back busy recruiting weekends. It's all coming up next on Big Red Wrap-Up. Hi, everyone. I'm Michael Severe, and welcome to Big Red Wrap-Up on Nebraska Public Media. Nebraska gets off to a 1-0 start, and I'm calling it a Surgeon General kind of win. Why? I'll tell you, Jay Moore and Sean Callahan. It's because no one's blood pressure went up at all. It was fine. By third quarter, everybody was like, okay, I'm fine. I probably don't need to watch anymore. It's rare to get that kind of game.
It has. We haven't had one like that a while, especially in an opener.
Yep.
But it was kind of how I felt the game should go. There was just a moment of you had the fumble on the goal line, and they were able to get the big play on the fourth down stop, and you're like, okay. But then the safety happened, and then they never really stood a chance from there. But it was just nice to be relaxed, be calm, see some players play. I mean, that's what Nebraska football was for so many years. Was you start off your first game, and your starters played a half, maybe three quarters. And you got to see a bunch of your second teamers, your third team. There were some fourth and fifth string guys that were able to play on Saturday. Just haven't had in a while. And finally, a game just to get off, and what we thought it would be to start off the season with the schedule. Just you kind of ease into it, into obviously much tougher competition come this week.
A couple of moments where people were scrambling, getting into the media guide to find out who people were.
107 different players saw action for Nebraska. Pretty much everybody that was available, that was a part of training camp, that maybe they don't have more of an extravagant red shirt plan for, was able to get in that game, which, maybe Bethune-Cookman in 2018 was probably the last time you could argue.
Good call.
Because even last year, the game against Louisiana Tech was not like that, as we know, and it's hard. I mean, it's hard in college football. Wisconsin was pushed by Western Michigan. Yeah. A lot of these teams in the Big Ten really had stressful openers. For Nebraska to be able to pull their starters at the 5-minute mark of the third quarter, really unheard of for the last 10, 15 years of Nebraska football.
So you played with some good quarterbacks, I know. But when you watch some of the throws that Raiola made, including the one to the right end zone that was just outside going towards the out of bounds where it had to be, the one where he gets hit and makes the throw to Nayor, I mean, you don't see that kind of thing from a true freshman. No,
you don't. And that's the big, like I said, was able to go to a couple practices in the spring and this fall, and you saw those throws being made. But in my mind, it's like, okay, that's in practice. Sure. That's against guys you're comfortable going against. How's it going to be in front of 80, 90,000 when it's a team of different color, right? And he did it. I mean, he backed it up. He validated all those throws I was able to see him make in practice. And I mean, the incomplete pass to Nayor down the sideline early in the game, that was on the money. This throw right here, you can see him stepping up and throwing it sidearm. Saw him do that all the time in practice. And then the pass to Nayor on the other sideline, heading to the south end zone, and then Banks right before half. I mean, he puts the ball where only his guys can catch it. Yeah. And it takes a while for those guys young quarterbacks to make those kind of throws, and he's got it. I don't know how good UTEP's defense is. I mean, trust me, we're going to face much better defenses. But there's something to be said. Like, you can take this and just know and feel much better about where the offense is going to this year, just because we haven't seen a quarterback like this probably since Zach Taylor, who can make these kind of throws in game situations.
When's the last time Nebraska's sitting at 2nd and 30 and you felt pretty good about getting the first down?
Adrian, when he was at his peak, could do some of those things, but that's a 1 out of 25 maybe situation at best, where you're like, okay. Usually you're kind of like, all right, let's play to get a respectable punt for field position. Yep. And in this situation, they can knock it all off in 2 plays. And by the way, those were the only 2 penalties the starting offense had all day. They just happened to come on back-to-back plays, a false start and an offensive pass interference pick route play. So that was something also that I think you could really highlight. Not only was Raiola impressive, but the execution of the offense. The line was not charged with a sack. I know they gave up one that was given to the other side of the ball, but then they were efficient on third down. 11 of 17 on third downs. That's how you run 80-plus plays in a football game, where you're not running a no-huddle offense.
Second in the country in third down coming out of week 1. There's a lot more to cover, and we're going to get to it. We need your help, though. We have our phones standing by. We promise this week they'll actually work. It was a joke last week. We're ready for your calls. If you prefer, you can also text or email your comments or questions to bigred@nebraskapublicmedia.org. We're also monitoring our social media accounts tonight. Send us your thoughts on our Big Red Wrap-Up Facebook page or X account, and we'll answer as many of the questions as we can. Also, don't forget to head to our website and download your copy of the 2024 Nebraska football schedule poster. You can print those off at home or your office and keep up to date throughout the season the Husker football scores, including 40-7 against UTEP. Time now for our sideline survey. Last week, we asked you, will Nebraska make it to a bowl game this season? 82% of you said yes, the drought is over. 9% negative Nellies said the long nightmare will continue, and another 9% wanted to check back after the UTEP game. I wonder if that performance changed your idea of what was going to happen. Now it's this week's all-new sideline survey. In Saturday night's telecast, this is a good one. What will we see the most? Shots of Coach Prime on the sidelines, getting 51%. Commercials with Coach Prime. Mentions of how many transfers Colorado has, and that's 66. Or Nebraska touchdowns, 31% say Nebraska touchdowns. Check back each week for a brand new survey. Time now for our top plays against UTEP. We bring you number 3 to kick it off. And this is what I think you're going to break down a little bit later, Joe.
Absolutely.
This is the, Jay. This is the, I'm thinking about Joe Gans. Emmett Johnson's 42-yard rush in the second quarter, coming off of that triple check, as Coach said about that. The black shirt defense stopping. This is a good shot right here.
And we get the same shot, too. I got to break down both plays.
You're going to break down both of those plays. That's number 2. And number 1, of course, Dylan Raiola's 59-yard bomb to Isaiah Nayor. This is a perfect throw. They always say drop it in the bucket, and he's got a guy in his face at the same time, and he makes that throw. And then how about this balance? It's incredible balance by the transfer wide receiver to be able to stay up and get in the end zone to give Nebraska the score. Let's stay there with the wide receivers and talk a little bit about it, because I know a lot of people were excited. I remember talking to Kenny Bell, who went to practice. He said it could be as good as the 2013-2014 Nebraska wide receiver crew. What do you think overall, getting a chance to watch them?
Listen, I saw I was bragging about going to practice, but I saw those two guys, Banks and Nayor, in practice, and we haven't had guys built like that. Quincy Enunwa comes to mind, similar build. Kenny Bell, not quite as long and rangy as some of those guys are, but the catch radius that's around those guys.
Purify.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, Mo P was exactly built like that. And you don't know exactly what they had, because Nayor was at Wyoming, then Texas, then Banks was at Wake Forest. Wake Forest had a decent year last year, but working with a new quarterback, new offensive system, what does it exactly look like? And I mean, Nayor had the most yards, but Banks was in there. You throw Fedoni in there, like to see him get some more action. But these guys are as good as it comes, and as good as Nebraska's had in quite some time. And you pair that with Raiola's ability to always the ball he throws is so catchable.
Yep.
It's not he has a fastball, but it's never overpowered, and it's always, like I said, a guy where his guys can catch it, and it's right on the money, man. It's soft and it's fun to watch, and this group's just going to continue to get better as well.
Big physical wide receivers you see just now, throwing the guy off, and then you got Ja'Cory Barney, who adds the speed, and that's not even talking about Jalen Lloyd, who really only had one target.
I thought the most telling thing in the game was the guys that were starting at receiver a year ago for Nebraska were coming in more with the second and even the third groups. I mean, Alex Bullock played more snaps really on special teams than he did on the offense. A year ago, because of the injuries, he was essentially default number 1 receiver.
Leading receiver.
With some of the things they battled. So it tells you, quarterback obviously has been upgraded, but the upgrades they've made, and even the tinker they made with Janiron Bonner to the slot, and we didn't even mention Carter Nelson. You think about the future of these bigger body receivers. Malachi Coleman's a track star that they're hoping to redshirt, but you've got 2 state champion high jumpers. And the freshman from Montana, now I'm blanking on his name.
Quinn Clark.
Quinn Clark and Carter Nelson are both, high-level athletic high jumpers. You got me on a brain fart there, Mike.
I love Quinn Clark too. You know, that's one of my guys.
I get so nervous around you.
That's right.
But yeah, just the size of these guys. I mean, the potential. It's going to be fun to watch this room develop under Garrett.
Let's talk a little bit about the black shirts, because really what changed the game was the safety, right? You're sitting at 7-0, you give up the fumble, and then the black shirts make a play.
Yeah, they need to make a play, and it's going to happen in instances, and Nebraska's defense did this all last year. Sudden change or turnovers or whatever it is, they stepped up big, and they were able to do that again on Saturday after Dowdell fumbles. They get the big play. It's 7-7 at that time, and they're able to make that thing 9-7. Really just flip the game, the momentum, because it kind of seemed like after that fourth down stop that they were able to get there, they scored just a few plays later. It did switch a little bit, and you kind of had to like catch your breath and be like, okay, you got a little uncomfortable, but making that play, and really I'll break it down. I mean, Nash Hutchmacher just destroyed the center right back into this, and Bayer kind of blitz, and Ty Robinson comes unblocked off the edge. And you make a play, and this defense is going to have to continue to do this all year, make a play and clean up some of the messes. But that's what it's supposed to do. That's a team football. I hope the offense is going to step up and score some points when Nebraska's defense is struggling too.
You know, Sean, I read that people talking about Nebraska only had 4.4 yards a carry, but the starting 4 backs had 6 yards a carry. 33 carries for 200 yards. They were pretty efficient, those Orr guys.
Well, and Dante Dowdell was poised to have a 100-yard game.
Easy, yep.
He had 55 yards pretty much in the first quarter, averaging 8 yards per pop. And you're right. You know, I think that top 3 group particularly, Gabe got some of the goal line short yardage carries, but Emmett, Dante Dowdell, and Ramir Johnson, I thought that trio really gave Nebraska a lot on Saturday in what they did. And then by mop-up duty, I mean, when's the last time? 7 or 8 I-backs got to play in this game, where, you know, that's going to affect the numbers and the stats. I mean, Nebraska was almost just trying to bleed the clock late. So those are a little misleading, because I thought early on Nebraska established their identity and the balance that they need to have with this offense.
Who do you start? Who would you start?
Man, it's tough. You know, Dowdell had the hot hand. He had that fumble, though.
Yep.
I think, Gabe got the 2 touchdowns. Ramir ran tough.
Emmett Johnson had a
good run. That's tough. I think if Dowdell doesn't have the fumble, I think he looked great. He looked explosive. Looked more, not sluggish by any means the spring, but just more a bigger back. But he had explosiveness. I still like Ramir because I love him in third and short situations. I love him to be able to catch the ball in the backfield. Emmett can catch the ball as well. It's tough. They got 4 really, really good options. And Gabe is just, if he continues to stay healthy, I think he's a great short yardage back. But I'd still think Ramir's your starting guy heading into game 2.
You know what? One of the things that Coach Rhule does really well is he speaks things into existence. He talked about how Dowdell wasn't playing well in the spring, how he was kind of behind in the summer. You see him turn around. Same thing with Tommy Hill last year. He really has a way of talking those guys into getting better.
Well, and you look at Dowdell's body of work, he is far and away the most touted of the running backs.
Yep.
I mean, he was a legit high 4-star recruit that played in the All-American Bowl in San Antonio, went to Oregon. I mean, could have gone anywhere he wanted and went to Oregon and got log jammed in a really backed up running back room.
Sure.
So Dowdell and his stepfather, Lawrence Hopkins, were very interested right away in Nebraska because they knew the opportunity that was there with 2 backs coming off injury, and that there was an opportunity for him to get in here and play at a high level. And this offense that they're going to run here with tight ends and downhill, he was a good fit for it with his skill set.
Real quick, we didn't talk about the offensive line, but the starting offensive line played
really well. They had that 1 sack, but across the board, I mean, Benhart, Evans, Scott, Mazuka, and then Corcoran. I mean, I just remember one of the goal line runs with I think it was with Gabe Ervin. But I mean, Evans pancaked his guy right back into the end zone. I mean, the power run they had with Ervin, it was a tight end situation. Number 1 from UTEP just got tossed out the club, and they power play, doubled down on him. So it's what you wanted to see, right? Protect the quarterback, give some time, be able to run the ball, and commit to run the football to get those big guys timing and get them, greased up and ready to go, because the rest of the season they're going to have to be able to run the football.
No doubt. Let's check out the tape now and take a look at the highlights from Saturday's home opener. It was really a beautiful day. It was a little warm, but I'm telling you, all the people were out tailgating early. You see the sea of red. It was a really great day for some football. And it started off with Ramir Johnson, one of the Orrs, getting the early carries, a 6-yard carry right there. But as Sean said, Dowdell really took over, though. If you look at the way he ran with physicality, getting 55 yards earlier, looked great. But Raiola was really the story, the national story. A lot of people talked about him across the national shows. There's Banks getting a catch for 19 yards coming off of that 2nd and 30. And then look at that hole. That's what we're talking about. In terms of
great blood front blocking, and nice to get off to a good start for the Big Red.
Utah ended up, that's 7-0 Nebraska. UTEP ended up starting Locklear, because he's a little more athletic. The best player they have really was Cam Thomas, and they ended up getting the ball to him at a point. But this is when they got going with the pace. This pace actually got Nebraska for a while.
Yeah, they tried to snap that ball with no less than 12 seconds on the clock.
Yep.
That's moving. And they got some tempo, got some pace, got some momentum going after that fourth down stop, and you're kind of like, okay, boys, let's buckle up and get this thing figured out.
Yep, that was a good catch by Cam Thomas, their best player there, minor back. But here's Dowdell, again, running downhill. But this, they go low. They went earlier, and he protected it. That time he didn't.
It's going to happen. I mean, you're going to have some of those fumbles where you're trying to get low and that you get a helmet on the ball. But listen, you got to protect it at all costs.
I'm going to break down that play again. Jay is coming up in a while for the safety, making it 9-7. Sean, when you watch these big wide receivers and you look back at what Nebraska was doing with such small wide receivers, you kind of understand why you make the change. Against the Big Ten, you got to have these big physical.
You're not going to get open that often. I mean, you're not going to get the Trey Palmer plays very often unless you're Trey Palmer.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be able to catch balls in tight coverage.
Like
you
that.
need a big body to do it. And we haven't seen a play like that from a receiver at Nebraska in a long time. It did remind you of Maurice Purify a little bit, the 06 Texas game where he caught a ball in coverage and scored where you shouldn't have scored.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what you need, plays like that.
Quincy Enunwa against Georgia in the bowl game just now with that. And here's Emmett Johnson going for the 42 yards. We're going to break down this play as well. Jay will show you exactly what happened, and look at the size of the hole.
Inside zone there against the 8-man box, and the linebacker his vision wasn't very good there. Made the safety have to come in and fill. And I like to see him. He had to throw the stiff arm out there, man. He could have scored.
Emmett does the work. Gabe Ervin gets the dessert. Gets a touchdown. His first of the day, making it 23-7. Then back comes UTEP. McConnell is comes in, the original starter from last year. He throws the interception to Malcolm Hartzog, who comes back because, Malcolm, of course, had the ball thrown over him to Cam Thomas earlier. He gets a little bit of justice back, making that interception, which gives Dylan Raiola a chance on a 2-minute offense, which really helps a young quarterback.
Right. You need this practice in this situation. You can do it in practice, but to get it live like this was such a teaching moment in week 1, and man, did Dylan Raiola step up and get it done.
8 seconds later, and he decides, I'm going to make this throw. I know I got enough time. It still was 3 seconds if it was an incomplete pass, but it's perfectly thrown to the outside, which allows him to get his body on the defender and make the catch with both hands. It's why you recruit those big wide receivers, no doubt about that. And here's Locklear again, getting a tackle for loss, back-to-back tackle for losses. There's Ty Robinson doing that. Princewell McNellan gets one as well, along with Linhart. And then Don Raiola with a nice throw. This was probably one of the most exciting times in the press box when Carter Nelson had his catches. People got excited.
You could see the big picture of what Carter Nelson is going to be. This was he's played some all-star 11 on 11, but that was his first true 11 on 11, real football game he's played in, and he really stepped up to the occasion.
Yeah, 3 catches for him, and then here's the final field goal after Nebraska couldn't punch it in. 40-7 is your final. We go to the stats, and Nebraska just dominated. 223 yards rushing against 56 from UTEP. And then you get 284 passing yards versus 149. Nebraska dominated, as you would expect, by the way they played. Okay, time to go to the players of the game. Dylan Raiola, not a surprise, he was also the Big Ten Freshman of the Week as well with his great day, including the 2 touchdowns. And Isaiah Neyor with a great day, 6 receptions, 121 yards, and a touchdown as well, taking care of business all day. Time to dive into the playbook now, once again, this season as we go into the huddle with Jay Moore.
All right, welcome into the first huddle of the year. And let's take a look at this play, the Emmett Johnson big-time run. This is the 3-check play that Coach Rhule highlighted in his presser. They did a lot of pre-snap movement in here. We don't quite have it, so I can't quite highlight what Raiola was exactly looking at. But as I kind of they do some games up front. You get a slant on the front side. You get another backside slant from the 3 technique going from B to A. And Nebraska's really just going to run inside zone against an 8-man box. Realistically, this play, numbers-wise, shouldn't work, but they get this linebacker 41 down here, kind of peeking in the backfield right here. You can see he should switch gaps here with the 3-tech, but doesn't. Sometimes gets his eyes in the backfield, now puts the safety right here in a tough spot now. You can see him already slide over top. This safety now he can't make a play, right? It's just too much space. A really good jump cut by Emmett, though, to see this backside and find this hole. Good seal by Corcoran, and he's off to the races. Like I said, a good check by Raiola. Love to see him put the stiff arm there to maybe score, but all in all, really good play. All right, here's a safety look by the Blackshirt defense. All right, I highlighted the 3 guys that really make this play. Ty Robinson to come unblocked. Really, this play is made by these two guys, Hutchbacker and Bayer. As I hit play here, you're going to get a pull down from this tackle. He's going to come, Ty Robinson's going to come on block. Nash just does a great job blowing this play up. Right now, it doesn't look like much, but just as I pause it, just a half a second later, there's nothing. Bayer blows us up, takes on the pulling tackle. Nash puts the center back in there. This guy has nowhere to go. So Ty gets a hand on there, but really Bayer makes a stop right there in the hole. Just good execution. Nebraska, they tried that zone read all week, all game. They blew it up all day. Really good play there to get the momentum back on their side.
That was one where the quarterback probably should have kept it, right? I mean, he was in a situation, he might still get a safety, but he's got to keep that.
Yeah, you'd think so. You got to read the backside. You had to read Ty Robinson on that backside there and maybe keep it on the outside, force the linebacker to come up and play, or the safety. But I don't know. I couldn't really tell who they were reading because they just took a long time with that mesh point all game. And Nebraska blew it up, a handful of times throughout Saturday.
9 total tackle for loss. Next up on the show, we'll be joined by former Husker Matt Davison to unpack reactions from Game 1. But first, let's hear about how you can help support local programming like this one on Nebraska Public Media.
Well, thanks so much. Hi, everybody. I'm Nancy Finken from Nebraska Public Media, and this is Nebraska's home for sports, and Big Red Wrap-Up is one of the big reasons why. Our fall membership drive right now is a great time to give back for what you've received from Big Red Wrap-Up this year. Those who support Nebraska Public Media with financial contributions make programs like this happen. So thank you for becoming a member or renewing your membership right now. You do that by calling 800-989-8236 or going online to nebraskapublicmedia.org/donate. And when you do that, you can choose from one of these great thank you gifts at the $25 per month level or a $300 one-time gift. It's a Nebraska football signed by Tom Osborne. Coach Osborne, of course, led the Nebraska football team as head coach for 25 seasons, winning 3 national championships. Osborne's legacy extends beyond the game of football, but football is where he became a household name in Nebraska. So claim one of those signed footballs as your thank you gift. Or if you'd prefer, you could pledge $5 a month or a $60 one-time gift, and you can have a really fun poster. It's the evolution of Herbie. It's an 11 by 17-inch poster, and the evolution of Husker Herbie from 1940 to 2022 is our gift to you. Now, this is a limited edition commemorative print featuring Herbie Husker through the ages. They're numbered and autographed by Herbie. So call now with your pledge of $60 at 800-989-8236 or give online at nebraskapublicmedia.org/donate. Host Michael Severe joins me now, and we're so excited, Michael, for another season of Big Red Wrap-Up, and what a great episode to come off of a win. Yep. So wonderful tonight. So what do you think of our new studio? You had your first show last week here.
Yeah, it really is incredible. We were talking earlier, it's kind of like an ESPN almost when you look at it. It gives us so many options, so many places we can go to do segments for. It really is amazing.
It is, and I was so glad last week to see all of you so excited to be in the new studio.
Yep.
And you are really in touch with everything that's Huskers, and I wonder what you think about the niche for Big Red Wrap-Up. What kind of a niche do we fill with this show?
You know, I went to the State Fair on Monday, and 20, 30 people probably stopped me to talk about Big Red Wrap-Up, big fans of the show. That's really the niche right there at the State Fair. A lot of folks stopping me, and they love the show, of course. And we cover so many things, not just the football, of course, what they do with volleyball here on Nebraska Public Media as well. That's why so many people watch.
Well, and we can't do it without member support. So, again, thank you, gifts that are your options tonight. At the $25 a month level, just $300 one-time gift, you can have a Nebraska football signed by Coach Tom Osborne, who led the football team as head coach for 25 seasons, winning 3 national championships. His legacy, of course, extends beyond the game of football, but it's football where he became a household name in Nebraska. Wouldn't you like to have one of those signed footballs from Coach Osborne? Well, pledge right now. Or if you prefer, join us and be a member of the Sports Club at $5 a month. That's a $60 one-time gift. And we have some limited edition commemorative prints featuring Herbie Husker through the years. This is 11 inches by 17, and it features Herbie from 1940 to 2022. Call right now to request that as your thank you gift when you're a donor at 800-989-8236 or make your pledge online at nebraskapublicmedia.org/donate. Thank you so much for being here tonight. We really appreciate it. You can join that Sports Partners Club right now when you pledge at 800-989-8236. You'll be supporting our coverage of Husker sports and several high school championships. We just can't do this without funding from people like you. So again, call now 800-989-8236.
Welcome back to the show. We're pleased to be joined by former Husker Matt Davison joining us here. It's been a while since you've been on the set. What do you think?
It's a little different. Looks great, guys. Yeah, nice digs.
It is pretty amazing.
Good to be back.
So we talked a lot about the excitement last week. I'm assuming you're feeling the same thing as well, especially as part of 1890. Kind of what are you hearing from the fans? What are you hearing from your boosters, your supporters?
Yeah, just a ton of excitement, right? Like everybody else. It's always a long off season waiting for that first game. Right. And you look back to last season and all those games that the Huskers felt like maybe coulda, shoulda won. Mm-hmm. Little frustration there. You look at the new pieces they added in the off season, all the hard work. Coach Rule's second year. You come into this season and you know, higher expectations, and you take care of business the way you're supposed to. So everybody felt good coming out of that game, and now we're heading into another big week.
Nebraska obviously had a plan to have to put this roster together we're seeing this year. How big was NIL to kind of getting this together? And when you see some of these guys that are helping Nebraska do it already, I mean, how rewarding is it to know that you guys have had a big impact?
Well, it's our job, right, to be here to help our coaches, give them a chance to succeed in this crazy kind of world of NIL. And here we are entering year 3 or 3 years in. And so we're here to put them in a position to try to get the best players, retain the best players. And I think we did a decent job of that this year. They added, you know, some great pieces on offense for sure, and across the board really, and that's really what NIL is supposed to do, right? I mean, you use it to recruit and retain and try to build a great roster, and that's what we're there to do. And I think we've done a decent job helping.
Matt, Troy Dannen just stepped on campus this past year, and he has been full support of you guys in 1890. Talk about that relationship in the avenue that he's had to help you guys kind of build trust and all these things to kind of make you guys go to work and get these great players on campus.
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, from the first day Troy got to Nebraska, pretty much we were in meetings with him and able to, you know, see his vision for what he wanted NIL to be. I think he saw 1890 and the way we were executing, and we were able to take his vision and work with what we had and come together and work together on a daily basis. And so now with his team, Tyler Kai, Derek Freeman, and Husker Athletic Fund, along with 1890, we're meeting with them all the time. We're on the same page. And when we're working together, obviously that's when you have the best chance to succeed. And so it's just been refreshing the last few months to see it all come together and to see his leadership come to fruition.
You started as a true freshman. I know Tommy came in like week 5 or 6 in '92, and then of course Adrian started. How big of a deal is it for a quarterback to start as a true freshman here at Nebraska?
Yeah, don't ever mention me playing as a freshman compared to those other guys. It was 100 years ago, much different at wide receiver. But, you know, to come in and play as a freshman, it does take a lot. At the quarterback position, though, I mean, totally different ball game.
Yep.
And not many guys could ever do that. And to be physically ready, to be mentally ready, to take on, especially a place like this, is so much. And he's handled it very well, obviously, off the field, on the field on Saturday. The way he's handled the media, really across the board, Dylan has just been a stud.
When you look at Dylan, you saw him when he came to Nebraska as a freshman in high school, really, when he worked out. I mean, how surprised are you it's taken off like this? I mean, it's really hard to do. We've seen so many great freshmen here in the past, and very few have had an opening game, if ever, like Dylan Raiola.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I've known their family a long time,
Yeah.
as you know, and in talking to Dominic, I mean, years ago, he started sending me, you know, clips of Dylan playing baseball, and it was like, you know, I think he's pretty good at baseball. I was like, yeah, he is. And he's throwing guys out, playing catcher, throwing guys out at second and at third, and then all of a sudden he started playing football, and he's like, yeah, he can really throw a football too. And so, you know, I've heard about him for a few years, and then he started to come on campus a couple of years ago, so I've seen him throw, and his physical abilities are, you know, hard to overstate. I mean, he can just do all the things you really want him to do with the football through the air, and he has the mental capacity to take it on. And, you know, he knows what he's doing when he's watching film, and he knows how to study film. He knows how to be coached. And So he's just what you're looking for when you try to go get a big-time quarterback and you're checking the boxes. He checks most of them, right?
Yeah. We talk a lot about, and Coach Rhule has said this, and other coaches have said this, you want to get old and stay old.
Yeah.
They have all these starters and all this experience on defense. What have you seen from the Black Shirts starting last year into what they did on Saturday?
Well, we have a good combination, I think, of older guys on the team and then a bunch of young guys that can really play. And so that's been fun to see because you have these guys that have been through the Big Ten a few times and they're hungry and they've had some disappointment. And I think they've learned from those things. And so they've been able to bring the young guys along. And Coach Rhule's talked about this a lot, the character of the guys in that locker room. And there's a bunch of really good young men in this locker room. And so the old guys with the leadership and the young guys with the talent has come together. And man, it's been fun to watch. I mean, half the time I'm watching the defense and I have to really look to see who's out there.
Yes.
Because they're changing. So many guys are in and out on defense and so much talent. They keep them fresh. I mean, we only played 50 snaps on defense, and still a lot of guys played. And the leading tackler has 5 tackles. And, you know, you're looking for the stat sheet, who had 12 tackles? Nobody's going to have 12 when you only play 50 snaps on defense. So it's a good combination of old and young, and it's just been fun to watch them run around and play the last couple of years under Coach White.
Matt, the landscape of college football has obviously changed a ton since 2021. It's going to change even more next year with the roster limits that go into place. How much communication have you had about some of these new changes, and how do you guys go about, addressing some of these things that are going to really rock college athletics like we've never seen before?
Right. Well, there's been a lot of change in the last 3 years, and some of it has been big changes. Some of it is subtle changes as we've gone along the last 3 years. But I think this is really where being on the same page, the collective, the athletic department, everybody together, we're ready for whatever comes our way. And we're going to work together to make sure we're at the forefront, that we're ready to pivot when we need to pivot in whatever direction it is. And so nobody really knows exactly how this thing's going to shake out over the next 12, 24, 36 months. But I think we're going to be ready for it. What the Pede family has done with 1890 and giving us a chance in NIL and the structure, the unique structure they've given us, the leadership from Troy Dannon, all the great coaches we have on our campus right now. It really puts us in a position to all work together, be on the same page, and be ready for whatever changes come to give us a great chance to be successful.
Matt, I don't know how many there's multiple collectives at different schools, but Nebraska kind of being the one. Is that advantageous to have one, or is it this having more competition? But because Ohio State, right? You just hear that them being able to raise $20 million
right.
for their football program, multiple collectives, right? But 1890 being the only one, the advantages of just having that one in town.
If you go back just 2.5 years, 2 years, a lot of schools had multiple collectives. And I think everybody realized that it was, in some ways causing confusion to the donor base. Obviously, NIL was very new and everybody was trying to figure it out, and a lot of people wanted to help. And that's not a bad thing, right? But I think most schools figured out that having one collective is probably the way to go. And that's really the way that it's worked out here, and I think that's best for Nebraska, and it's best for most schools across the country. And so that's the way it's kind of played out over the last 2.5 years.
What do you think about the expansion of the Big Ten? 18 teams now, they're going from coast to coast. A lot of changes from back when the old Big Eight. But what's your feel on what you've seen so far from that?
It's wild. I mean, even just watching the Big Ten video at the beginning of the game, right?
Much more.
Coast to coast.
Yeah.
It's been fun. In recruiting, it's been fun to watch how that's changed a little bit. But you add these teams to the Big Ten. It's fun for our fans to go on some road trips. I'm sure many are going to go out to Southern California in November. We've been to Oregon and Washington in the past. We've been to UCLA a long time ago. So these are big brands in college football. You add them to the mix, and I think it just makes us stronger as a conference. It does change recruiting a little bit, right? And in a good way for Nebraska. We're right in the middle, and we've always recruited nationally, and we'll continue to do that, I'm sure. But I think it's just really exciting times, and it's good to be in the Big Ten right now.
Matt, Colorado will come into Lincoln this week. Maybe the last time we'll see him in the regular season. When you were a player, how much did that game mean to you, Black Friday every single year? And are you hoping that maybe they can find a way to keep playing this down the road?
It's a great game for both fan bases. We know, everything that's happened over decades now. I was in 4 close games. We were fortunate enough to win all 4 of them in the 4 years that I played at Nebraska, but every year it was a battle. And a lot of years it came down to who was going to go to the Big 10 or Big 12 championship game, and then for us, if we were going to have a chance to go on to the national championship game in 1997. And so there were big implications. It's a great rivalry. And, you know, it hasn't gone our way the last few times. So it's going to be exciting on Saturday. I'm excited for our fans, excited, you know, for our players to play in such a heated game on the national stage. Going to be a lot of eyes on this one. And so it's going to be a lot of fun for everybody.
What does success mean this season? Not necessarily wins, losses, but at the end of the year, we say this is a successful year. What does that mean?
It's a big question. You know, obviously you want to make a bowl game, and that's been something that hasn't happened in a number of years. And so that you start there and you build from there. And I think, you know, you look at the pieces added to this roster. You think about the offseason and the things that we hear coming out of the program. I feel confidence brewing in this football program right now. We saw it on Saturday. And it builds with having experience and going out and doing it on the field. We saw that Saturday. If they're able to do it this Saturday, what does that mean moving forward? And if they're able to, you know, take care of business in week 3, you go one at a time, right? Sure. But you're going to see confidence build within this program and maybe get momentum for the first time in a number of years. And if that happens, why not? I mean, I don't want to put a number on it because I think we're just going to play solid football. And there's going to be times where the ball bounces your way and sometimes it doesn't. And sometimes you're going to be able to overcome those things and sometimes you're not. I'm not going to put a number on it, but I feel good about this squad. And I feel like every time we go in to play somebody, they better be ready because, you know, we're probably good enough to beat about anybody on our schedule. Maybe not so great that if we don't play well, a lot of teams couldn't beat us. But I like where we are as a program right now, and I think it's going to be a successful season.
Last thing, can you imagine what it would be like for Nebraska to have a home game in the college football playoff? Somebody from the South's got to come up here in December and play Memorial Stadium.
Be amazing, you know. Be a lot of high fives around here, you know, and it would be so great for our fans. I'm excited about where college football's headed. I know there's been a bit of chaos with NIL and transfers and all of these things, but I'm excited about where it is. I like the playoff and where that's going with 12 teams. It gives you a chance. A lot of big games are going to happen those last few weeks for more teams than what it used to be. And so I like that part. I like the home games. If that ever happened in Lincoln, look out. And, you know we would have a big advantage there. There were some comments made about, you know, can you sell the tickets and what's the weather going to be? Come on, you know.
Yeah, people can stay in Omaha, too. The whole idea of, are there enough hotel rooms? People can stay in Omaha and drive the 45 minutes.
Yeah, it would be amazing. A lot of high fives would be had.
Yeah,
for sure.
Really look forward to that. Real quick, I'll steal Sean's question. Have you eaten at the training table, and how good is the food?
I haven't eaten there.
Oh, okay.
Been in there many times.
Okay.
But I haven't actually eaten there. It looks amazing. The whole building looks amazing. It's, you know, there's so many great things going on at Nebraska right now, and we've known about some of these things for a long time, but it's facilities and the fans and the stadium and now, you know, our coaching staff and like all these great things. NIL's a piece of that, right? Nutrition has always been a big part of Nebraska athletics, Nebraska football. Oh, yeah. It'll continue to be that way. We take care of our student athletes, period, here at Nebraska in so many different ways. That's one of the ways.
Matt, we appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time.
Thanks for having me on.
We appreciate coming on the wrap-up. Sean will help us break down a couple of eventful recruiting weekends, and we'll also preview, of course, the Colorado game. But first, another chance for you to help support programming you love right here on Nebraska Public Media.
Thanks so much, Michael. It's great to hear from you and everybody tonight about the Huskers. And it's so fun to be here in the studio with everyone. As we said earlier, we are in our fall membership drive. So this is the time when we invite you to be part of the team that brings you Big Red Wrap-Up. Your donations go towards programming on Nebraska Public Media, so you make all the sports broadcasts possible. We want to keep it going, so give us a call right now at 800-989-8236. And when you do, we have some wonderful thank you gifts for you to choose from at the $25 a month level, or you can make a one-time gift of $300. It's a Nebraska football signed by Tom Osborne. Coach Osborne led the Nebraska football team as head coach for 25 seasons, and he won 3 national championships. His legacy extends beyond the game of football, of course, but football is where we all became well known with Tom Osborne. Or at $5 a month, a $60 one-time gift. How about this, a fun thing? It's a poster showing the evolution of Herbie Husker from 1940 to 2022. Now, these are limited edition commemorative prints featuring Herbie over the years. So call now with your pledge, 800-989-8236. And we want to say thanks so much to Craig from Lincoln and an anonymous donor from Gretna. They made their contributions tonight during Big Red Wrap-Up. Won't you join them? Because Husker football isn't everything we have on Nebraska Public Media Sports. We're so excited to have Husker and Creighton volleyball again this fall. High school softball championships will be here on October 21st. And then in November, it's time for high school volleyball and football. Multiple games on each of these days, all these championships right here because of member contributions from people just like you. Your donation makes a difference when you call 800-989-8236 or give online at nebraskapublicmedia.org/donate. We have wonderful thank you gifts. Again, that signed football by Coach Tom Osborne. We've got those for you when you're a donor at $25 a month. You could choose that thank you gift, or step up and pledge $5 a month. That's a $60 one-time pledge. And here's a fun thing. It's the Herbie Evolution poster. It's 11 by 17 inches, and it's the evolution of Herbie Husker from 1940 to 2022. We have these limited edition commemorative prints featuring Herbie through the ages. They're numbered and autographed by Herbie. Call now to claim one of those as your own at 800-989-8236 or give online at nebraskapublicmedia.org/donate. You can join the Sports Partners Club just like Craig from Lincoln did tonight and an anonymous donor in Gretna. We'd love to thank you as well. You'll be supporting our coverage of Husker sports and several high school championships. We can't do any of this without funding from people just like you to support these productions. One of the newest is being released as a digital series. It's called Nebraska High School Classics. It's a look at some of the greatest championship contests we've covered here at Nebraska Public Media. Included are condensed versions of the games and contemporary interviews with players, coaches, and sports writers. We can't wait to share these with you. They come out every Sunday on YouTube. One new episode started just this past Sunday, so go to YouTube and find it. It's all possible because of donors who pledged $25 a month for example, and you can claim that Nebraska football signed by Coach Tom Osborne as your very own. Or pledge $5 a month at the $60 level. We'll send you a poster featuring Herbie Husker over the years from 1940 to 2022. How has he evolved? That'll be a fun commemorative gift as well. Call now, join our Sports Partners Club because you're a sports fan. We rely on people just like you to call 800-989-8236 or make your pledge online at nebraskapublicmedia.org. And thank you very much. We appreciate your support.
I liked the way it felt that it was really hot out there, and thank goodness we were on the cooler sideline, and they were going fast, and we were getting 3 and outs, and they were staying on the field a lot. So to be able to keep putting different backs in there that were fresh, I kind of enjoyed it.
Get nervous sometimes that a young guy tries to do too much, and it's just too emotional. And he was like a freaking surgeon.
I think Dylan played really well. I thought he played a complete game. Thought he did a good job in the run game. Thought he did a good job in the checks game. I thought there were a couple communication things just in general. Whether it was the headset kind of being hard to hear, whether it was checks getting out to the receivers or the right check. There was a couple of small things, but not much.
What he has to deal with everything that comes with being a Sanders. Just have a lot of respect how he's handled that. And I think he's an elite level quarterback, and he's gonna give us everything that we want. And we just got to prepare. First round quarterback, the whole nine. So respect him a lot.
He's got a big time arm. He can use all 53 1/3 yards of the field. Right, he can throw the ball from sideline to sideline. He's got a great feel for the pocket. He moves in the pocket. He can hurt you with his feet, but he slides in the pocket to find guys that are open.
He's a talent, and it seems like if you go back through and look at all the games, there's a lot of ways people played him, and I mean he was still able to perform.
Well, my dad said that he never lost to them. So every time, this week, he told me, he goes, just so you know, I never lost to them. But no, I know the rivalry runs deep.
Oh yeah, my wife and I, we went skiing this year in Beaver Creek, and just we were kind of sent the kids up, and we met some friends, and we were sitting down hanging out in this young lady walked up to me and she said, are you Coach Rule from the Huskers? And I was like, I thought I was a Husker fan. I said, yeah. And she said something to me I can't repeat it out loud.
Welcome back to Big Red Wrap Up. I'm Michael Severe with Sean Callahan to talk some recruiting. I know you think this is the script, Sean. This is actually the list of all the visitors.
Yeah, you look at Nebraska this weekend, it is going to be one of the bigger recruiting weekends we've seen in Lincoln in a while. I mean, Nebraska will have five-star Michael Terry back on campus, Oklahoma commit Cortez Mills. You go down the line, I mean, this is going to be a major weekend of names that make their way in. TJ Lateef, their current quarterback commit, Malcolm Simpson, who is being courted a little bit behind the scenes, reportedly by Texas. Cade Pedshock from North Dakota. It is an impressive group of players that are going to make their way here.
Watch Michael Terry play. Is there a chance? I mean, I know Texas is kind of in the lead, but you think there's a chance?
Well, I think if you're going to have a chance, it's this night. I think with Nebraska being able to sell this place potentially at its peak.
Right.
Because you just can't simulate a night like we're going to see in Lincoln on Saturday in college football in very many places. And Nebraska's got a unique opportunity to sell him. And, Texas is clearly the team to beat, but I think Nebraska's in a pretty good position.
Who was the biggest visitor for UTEP, the UTEP game?
Well, Christian Jones did make it in. It wasn't really a big priority weekend. I think the priority is this weekend for Nebraska, but Christian Jones did make it in for Nebraska, which I thought was a big plus.
Jamarian Parker out of St. Louis. That's Cardinal Ritter. Great basketball program. I know they got pretty good football. Can you talk about him a little bit?
Yeah, Jamarian Parker had a huge game in his opening game this season. 4 touchdowns in his first game this year. You know, Nebraska back in St. Louis in a big way, back in Kansas City in a big way, and Jamarian Parker was a big part of that. Give Keith Williams a lot of credit to go in there, get him here, because Nebraska has not been able, Michael, to get a Jamarian Parker level player out of St. Louis in a while.
Yeah, I guess Trey was the last one, the running back, right?
Yeah,
Trey Bryant.
You got to go even before that. I mean, Trey Bryant obviously had the one good year.
Chris Brooks.
And Keith Williams and Mike McNeil.
Yeah.
You had a run there of NFL players that came out of St. Louis to Nebraska, and they were all recruited by Kevin Cosgrove. Coincidentally, Keith Williams was a Kevin Cosgrove recruit, and now he is the guy leading the way. And people like you mentioned, Chris Brooks, Mike McNeil, they're coaching high school football in St. Louis.
Oh, wow. So you have to get a quarterback almost every year now. Let's talk about Michael Clayton out of Seminole, out of Florida.
Yeah, Michael Clayton will be in town. He is probably Nebraska's top 2026 quarterback name they're in on right now, a high 4-star level player. He was here for camp in June, looked outstanding, got his offer. To get him back now this weekend is a big opportunity.
All right, real quick, let's talk about our in-state, Chase Lofton out of Millard South, the tight end.
Yeah, Chase Lofton out of Millard South, arguably the top player in the state, a 4-star tight end, was at Elkhorn North for his first 3 years of high school, transferred to Millard South for his senior year, had a tough loss to start the year in Arizona to Vasha, one of the top programs in the state of Arizona, but committed to Florida State. You know, it'll be interesting if Nebraska pushes there a little bit to see if they can get him on campus. Is there a need still for a tight end is the better question at this point. Because you and I both know Florida State 0-2.
Yeah.
That gets your attention at least with his recruiting. Will some teams at least try to reach out to him? Because you just never know what could happen now in Tallahassee with the 0-2 start.
We appreciate it. We'll talk more about this next week, of course. Be sure to vote on this week's Sideline Survey question. In Saturday night's telecast, what did you expect to see the most? There are 4 choices. One of them, of course, is will you see shots of Coach Prime on the sidelines? 52% say that. Commercials with Coach Prime, which I think was actually going to be the one, 11%. Mentions of how many transfers Colorado has had, 66 of them. And Nebraska touchdowns, 32% of folks are looking at that. Time to check in with some of our best game day photos sent to us this weekend. Lacey from Facebook shared this with her crew on the river. That's pretty awesome. While they watched Nebraska's game, I'm sure there were a lot of fans in that hot stadium that would have preferred to be on the river instead of the heat. And then David emailed us a few photos from their first tailgate barbecue. Looks delicious, of course. David, next week, we expect an invitation. Thanks. Send in your best game day picks for chances to win great prizes throughout the season and to see your photos on the show. All right, we want to welcome in now Brian Howell, beat writer from BuffZone.com, to help us preview Saturday night's game against Colorado. Brian, we appreciate it. Thanks for coming on tonight.
You bet. Thanks for having me, guys.
Go back before the season, Brian. What was your expectation? What did you think in terms of how many wins, how Colorado would play this year, and has it changed after watching the first game against North Dakota State?
Yeah, I thought their floor was a bowl game, so 6-6, and thought they could be a 7-5, 8-4 type of team, and with some breaks, maybe contend for the Big 12. And I wouldn't say it's changed at this point. I don't like to make too many rash judgments off of one game. I think it was a good win for them against North Dakota State, but certainly there's still some concerns about the offensive line, how much better they're going to be this year, and certainly it's not a polished product. So they've got some work to do to get to that 8-4.
Brian, in some ways, how beneficial, though, was it to get an opener like North Dakota State, to win the game, but then be pushed and kind of be stressed and go through that experience as you head now to what will be one of the tougher environments probably Colorado faces in terms of a night game in Memorial Stadium?
Yeah, I think that was a really good test for them. I think, I was talking to a colleague of mine, and, North Dakota State, they're FCS, but I think they're probably better than 40 to 50 FBS teams, when you look across all of FBS. So they're really good. I think that was a good test for Colorado's revamped offensive and defensive lines to have to go through a physical test like that. That's what NDSU is known for, is being physical. It's going to be more physical, I think, this week in Lincoln, but I think that was a good test for that group to kind of get their feet wet together as a group.
Brian, obviously offensively with Colorado, everyone knows Shedeur, everyone knows Travis Hunter, Horn. And those guys are the big play capabilities that they have and the explosiveness. If those guys can't get it going, who else can Colorado have a backup plan to that? Are they successful to run the football? Who else can they rely on to kind of take some pressure off those guys if there are double coverages or people tend to shut them down?
Well, receiver-wise, certainly they've got more talent than even those two guys. I mean, LeJontay Wester was number 2 in the country in receptions last year at FAU. Will Shepard has been Vanderbilt's leading receiver the last couple of years. So those guys haven't really gotten started yet. But as far as running the football, that's the big key, and that's a big question mark. I mean, they have not had much of a run game so far in now 13 games under Coach Prime. And they keep saying that they've got all these talented backs and that's going to change, but they haven't shown that yet. And so I think that's one of the keys. And Coach Prime talked about it again today, that they have to run the football, and they're going to try to this week. Are they going to be able to? I don't know. We've been waiting for it for a long time.
I know it's early still, Brian, but a lot of times you don't have a chance to be able to have 2 top 5 picks coming into a stadium. From what you're hearing, would you be surprised if we saw Travis Hunter and Shedeur both go in the top 5 of the 2025 NFL draft?
No, not surprised at all. I mean, I think Shedeur, to me, and maybe I'm biased, I cover Colorado, but
sure,
I think he's the most talented quarterback in the country. And as we know, the top quarterbacks are going to go in the top 5. And Travis Hunter, he's just, people have used this term, but it's true. He's a unicorn. I mean, I don't know what he's going to play in the NFL. To me, if you're an NFL exec, you draft him, and then you find out where he's going to play after you have him on your team. Because I think he's that good. You just want him in the building.
Hey, Brian, there's a lot of history between these two programs. The fan base has definitely embraced this game. But as of now, it could be the last time they play in the regular season. Do you get the sense at all that Colorado would like to get another Nebraska series on the schedule, maybe in the 2030s or somewhere down the road?
Yeah, really, that's probably a question for the athletic director, because Coach Prime, who knows? If you asked him, who knows how long he'll be here, and the players, of course. But I know for the program and the athletic director, Rick George, they like having Nebraska on the schedule. And I think that they would like to get that done because it's been a great series. And certainly Colorado can say that because they've won all 3 of these games so far. But take the results out of it. It's been a really fun series. And just the games that have been played in Boulder and also Lincoln back in 2018 or 19, I can't remember what year it was. Just super fun atmospheres and games. So I think they'd probably love to have it on the schedule at some point.
Brian, real quick, biggest concern, those young offensive linemen in that loud environment going against Nebraska's D-line?
Yeah, I think so, because I think that group, they only gave up 1 sack last week, which they gave up at least 3. It wasn't them, but the line gave up at least 3 in every game last year. So 1 was a huge improvement, but Nebraska got them like 8 times last year. So I think that's a huge thing to watch for this week, is how good is that offensive line? They've got to be better than they were even last week.
Brian, we really appreciate it. Enjoy the game, and thanks for coming on with us.
You bet. Thanks, guys.
All right, let's talk a little bit about this game. You mentioned all the talent Even Jonte Webster, who made the finalists for the Jet Award, that's how good of a returner he is, and we didn't even hear about him. The biggest, go back to the offensive line against Nebraska's D-line in that building as a defensive lineman. How difficult will it be?
I think for communication-wise,
to get up
Colorado's, it's listen, with now the helmet communications, I would think you'd have some sort of backup plan for some hand signals on the sidelines in case you can't hear. There might be an instance where there's going to be so loud where Shedeur probably can't hear communication with his OC trying to get those play calls. So that's going to be one thing. But then you're probably going to do a silent count with O-line. You might see them holding hands as well.
They can't even snap, right?
So yes, it's going to be they're going to be tested. And I think they struggled last year against Nebraska. He said 8-9 sacks last year. But now Nebraska's D-line is just as good, if not better, as they were last year against that offensive line that gave up a ton of sacks, has struggles to run the football. So the biggest key is Nebraska's defensive line versus their O-line. Can you get home with 4 as well, so you can keep the 7 guys in the back end to help cover all those that deep stable of wide receivers they have.
Most important matchup for you?
Just if Nebraska can keep pace. I mean, if Colorado wants to make this a track meet, can Dylan Raiola answer those scoring drives? Because you don't want to have too many empty possessions and give Colorado an advantage on possessions, because they can score on anybody. We know that, and I think Nebraska needs to do that. And then, Tony White, they didn't blitz once last week. They ran 3- and 4-man pressures the whole game. What does Tony White have up his sleeve on defense? Because they were very basic in what they showed UTEP a week ago.
Do you think Nebraska needs to try to dominate time of possession, so run the ball out?
I think so. I think that's important. I think committing to the run. North Dakota State was successful running the football with their quarterback. Obviously, you're not going to do that with Raiola. Maybe you see some Harburg situations to try to get some extra QB run games in there. But I think you still have to commit to it and to slow the game down, own some time of possession. And that's the biggest key. If Colorado does get off to a quick start, still commit to that run and not chase those points.
Sean, let's go to burning questions.
All right, my burning question is, can Nebraska live up to the stage? I mean, they've had so many opportunities. These opportunities are limited. They have to take advantage of it and live up to the moment of what this stage will be with a nationally televised night game at Memorial Stadium.
I've already said it multiple times. Nebraska has to get home with 4. You can't. I don't think you have to get unique. You don't need to try to bring 5 or 6. Maybe you do it at some times, but you get home with 4. Keep those back guys and those 7 guys in the back end to cover those wide receivers.
My burning question is, can I wear this shirt comfortably after the game? Will I be able to wear this and feel pretty comfortable because Nebraska has won the game? This is a classic. Hopefully I can wear it. That's my burning question. Don't forget to head to our website and Facebook page. Of course, click on the prediction. Jay, Sean, and I will tell you exactly what to expect on Saturday. The old Big 12 rivalry returns to Memorial Stadium Saturday night as Nebraska hosts Colorado in the biggest game so far of the young season. Kickoff is scheduled for 6:30, right there on NBC. Next Tuesday, we'll break down the game with former Nebraska assistant coach Bill Busch. And before the Colorado game on Saturday night, make sure you tune in to Nebraska Public Media as we bring you more Nebraska volleyball. The Huskers host Montana State at the Bob Devaney Sports Center. First serve is scheduled for 2 p.m. Central right here on Nebraska's home for volleyball. Our thanks to Matt Davison and Brian Howell, and of course, Jay Moore and Sean Callahan. I'm Michael Severe. We'll see you next week on Big Red Wrap-Up.